The colonial era in India is our new topic that we are going to cover, and here multiple choice question answers are there and 35 numbers are there, right? So 35 MCQs are there. So let us start. First question is, what was one of the main motive behind European colonialism? And the options are promoting democracy, spreading communism, economic exploitation and trade, protecting native culture. So the correct answer is economic exploitation and trade. When was the British East India Company established? And the options are 1757, 1600, 1858, 1498. 1600, that is 1600 when the British East India Company established. Which battle marked the beginning of British rule in India? And the options are Battle of Panipat, Battle of Plassey, Battle of Boxer, or Battle of Haldighati. So the correct answer is Battle of Plassey marked the beginning of the British rule in India. Who was the first European to arrive in India by sea? And the options are Vasco da Gama, Christopher Columbus, Francis Xavier, Marco Polo. Vasco da Gama. Which European power established its first trading post in India at Pulicat, Tamil Nadu? Portuguese, French, Dutch, British. Dutch. Which of the following towns was the capital of French possession in India? Pondicherry, Chandranagar, Karaikal, Mahe. Pondicherry. Which battle ended the French political ambition in India? Battle of Plassey, Battle of Boxer, Battle of Vandivas, Battle of Panipat. Battle of Vandivas just ended the French political ambition in India. Who was the famous French Governor General known for his rivalry with the British in India? Dupleix, Bizet, Lally, or Laverdonius? So, Dupleix was the famous French Governor General known for his rivalry with the British in India. Which of the following was not a Portuguese colony in India? Goa, Daman, Diu, Calicut. Calicut. Who was the Governor General of India during the 1857 revolt? Lord Curzon, Lord Dalhousie, Lord Canning, Lord Wellesley. So, Lord Canning was the Governor General of India during the 1857 revolt. The doctrine of lapse policy was introduced by Lord Wellesley, Lord Cornwallis, Lord Dalhousie, Lord Ripon. Lord Dalhousie. In which year was the Goa Inquisition officially abolished? 1774, 1812, 1835, 1857. 1812. The Battle of Clochel, 1741, was fought between which two powers? British and Mughal, Marathas and Portuguese, Kingdom of Travancore and the Dutch East India Company, French and British. So, the Battle of Clochel 1741 was fought between Kingdom of Travancore and the Dutch East India Company. Who introduced the subsidiary alliance system in India? Lord Cornwallis, Warren Hastings, Lord Dalhousie, Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley. Which Indian ruler was the first to accept the subsidiary alliance? The ruler of Hyderabad, the ruler of Awadh, the ruler of Mysore, or Gwalior? So, the ruler of Hyderabad. The Great Bengal famine occurred in which year? And the options are 1857-59, 70-72, 1876-78, 1943-44. 1770-72. The Madras famine, also known as Great Famine of South India, occurred in 1770-72, 1802, 1876-78, 1943-44. 1876-78. Which British economic policy worsened the impact of famine during colonial rule? Closed economy, free market, protectionism, mercantilism. So, free market. The infamous open feast during a major Indian famine was organized by Lord Ripon, Lord Curzon, Lord Dalhousie, Lord Lytton. Lord Lytton. The phrase drain of wealth refers to natural resource depletion, loss of manpower due to war, economic exploitation and transfer of Indian wealth to Britain, Indian merchants moving to Britain, economic exploitation and transfer of Indian wealth to Britain. Who is known for writing the famous book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India? Dadabhai Naroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, R.C. Dutt, Mahatma Gandhi. Dadabhai Naroji. Who described the British economic exploitation in India as Bleeding India? Bal Gangadhar Tilak, R.C. Dutt, Dadabhai Naroji, Subhash Chandra Bose. R.C. Dutt. Which of the following book was written by R.C. Dutt on colonial economic policies? India for the Indians, The Economic History of India, Un-British Rule in India, Discovery of India. The Economic History of India was written by R.C. Dutt on colonial economic policies. Which traditional Indian industry suffered the most under British rule? Shipbuilding, textile and handloom, mining, steel, textile and handloom. The decline of indigenous industry observed by Bentinck led to rise of Indian manufacturing, deindustrialization and poverty among artisans, growth of Indian-owned factories, expansion of Indian exports to Britain. So, it led to deindustrialization and poverty among artisans. The term brown Englishmen refer to Indians who work in British factories, Indians educated in English language and culture, British officers with brown uniform or mixed race Anglo-Indian. So, the term brown Englishmen refer to Indians educated in English language and culture. Who wrote the famous Minute on Indian Education in 1835? Lord Dalhousie, Thomas Macaulay, Warren Hastings, Lord Curzon, Thomas Macaulay. What was the impact of Macaulay education policy? Decline in English language use in India, promotion of Indian languages in school, rise of an English educated Indian middle class, complete eradication of indigenous education. So, rise of an English educated Indian middle class. The primary purpose of railway during British rule was to promote Indian business, to facilitate the movement of British troops and goods, to connect tourist destination, to spread Indian culture. So, to facilitate the movement of British troops and goods. When was the telegraph system introduced in India? 1800, 1854, 1880, 1901, 1854. What was the immediate cause of revolt of 1857? Economic exploitation, doctrine of lapse, introduction of Enfield rifle, cartridges greased with animal fat, annexation of Awadh. So, introduction of Enfield rifle, cartridges greased with animal fat was the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. What was the nature of the 1857 revolt according to British historian? A planned war of independence, a tribal uprising, a sepoy mutiny, a socialist revolution, a sepoy mutiny. The Coal Revolt was primarily against high British taxation, interference in tribal land and custom, Enfield cartridges, spread of Christianity. So, interference in tribal land and custom. The Santhal uprising occurred in Bihar and Jharkhand, Punjab, Assam, Kerala, Bihar and Jharkhand. Okay. So, these are the 35 important MCQ for the topic, the colonial era in India. However, the chapter explanation has also been done. If you want, then you can watch that video also. Textual question answer has been also covered. So, if you need that one also, you can check. So, if you're watching until the end, thank you so much for watching, and this much for this video.